Hello everyone and welcome to our special snow watch on Friday the 3rd of January 2024, or 2025 even. Goodness gracious me, time flies. Everyone, so as you'll know, this weekend we're seeing this rain pushing up from southwest, and as it hits the cold air, this low, the precip bands will turn increasingly to sleet and snow in some parts of the country. And today again, what we're trying to do is trying to pinpoint where this is most likely to happen. So starting off with this UKV high-res model, we can see that through the morning on Saturday, we'll see this rain advancing from southwest. Now initially, this is rain in the southwest, but as it pushes gradually northwards, I think that today's UKV has delayed that rain by a bit. It turns wintry. At first, on higher ground, you'll see the pinks there highlight the mountains. So, like the Wicklow Mountains there, down towards Kerry, the big ranges down there. Into the evening, again, heavy snow over high ground, but increasingly overnight to lower levels in Munster and parts of South Leinster as well. So you can see by 4 a.m. Sunday, big snow event in many parts of Munster and into parts of South Leinster, down to low levels as well. Now in the north, the issue is that in parts of Ulster and Connacht, you don't have any precip, and B, those in parts of North Leinster and South Ulster, it's too light. The rainfall is too light, and therefore it can't really drag down the cold air from aloft. And also, so therefore cooling from evaporation can't take place. Moving on into Sunday morning, again heavy snow, widely in parts of Munster and South Leinster there, so possibly quite a dumping. Now this on today's UKV has trended southwards. With this snow system. So this favours Munster and South Leinster for heavy snowfall. Elsewhere in North Leinster, South Connacht and South Ulster, I think you're mainly with like rain and sleet, with snow on high ground, and north of that, you're dry, cold and frosty. Eventually that system clears away for the evening to leave a frosty night, going into Monday. So here's the arpege. Let's see how that compares. Arpege, again, Saturday morning, that rain starts to push up from the southwest, and by about lunchtime, it's edging in towards Kerry and Cork, falling as rain, but again, it starts to fall as snow over higher ground. You can see, especially over Kerry, going into North Cork there by 8 p.m. Arpege, again, it's quite slow with pushing it in. Through Saturday evening. So again, snowfall risks mainly in Munster and South Leinster by midnight on Sunday, especially inland. I do not like the way pretty much the whole of County Wexford there is actually just sticking out there like a sore thumb in the blue, showing rain, while everywhere else in the south is snowing. Never mind. There is Wexford and Cork as well, actually. Into the early hours, we see again, I think that the arpege is starting to push this low a bit further north too. So arpege, best snow risk will be inland parts of Munster, South Leinster, and also into South Connacht as well with this. So it's a bit further north. Again, I think in Ulster, actually, wait a second. This could be a countrywide thing away from the coast. So in the end, best snow risks through Sunday morning of heavy snow, though that is some heavy snow, guys, even to lower levels, will be in Munster, West Leinster especially, I think, and up into a lot of Connacht and Ulster as well. And then eventually the whole thing clears away to leave a very cold night on Sunday night with lying snow and severe frost. Treacherous. So arpege, very good for quite a big part of the country, and UKV is quite focused on the south. So here's the Icon run. Icon, once again, it brings up this rain from southwest into Saturday, and we go into the evening, and again it turns to snow over high ground first, before quite widely over Munster and South Leinster through the evening, turning wintry. Now overnight into Sunday, away from the south coast anyway, looks like we're getting a big snow event going on with this. It might be a bit more reduced than that at first, but the Icon dives straight in with widespread snow towards low levels as well. Into Sunday morning, we see the snow risks edging northwards as the mild air does just edge into the south there. So it does turn to rain quite widely in the south and not just on the coast. So snow risk for this, best snow risk in West Leinster, North Leinster, Mid Leinster, North Munster, and off into Connacht and South Ulster with this. So especially central areas, I think, basically. So our parish is similar to Icon. So quite a lot of central areas especially get the heaviest snowfall. But all areas, well, away from the south coast and the southeast coast, I think, have quite a high chance of snow. Also away from the far northwest, because there you barely actually tap into the precipitation, unfortunately. So they are cold enough, yeah, but the rain and snow doesn't reach you. So we got the Arbitrage and Icon, good for quite a countrywide thing, then the UKV is quite south focused. Let's see what the ECM shows. Now bear in mind, this is the ECM 12 set, but unfortunately I cannot do this at a time when the 12 says, sorry, I can't do this at a time when the midnight runs out, so let's just go with the 12 set. So going on, we can see that the rain comes up from the southwest as early as Saturday at lunchtime actually, and turns wintry by 6 PM Saturday. It's got widespread wintriness going through Munster, West Leinster and South Connacht. Now that is quite epic for Sunday at midnight. You've got heavy wintriness through Ireland, through the Irish Sea and off into Wales as well. I think that with the ECM, its snow, like graphics, shows sleet and snow. So I bet a lot of this over the Irish Sea and on the coasts, that is sleet, not proper snow. Just let you know that. That is based on my experience. All the greens here shows sleet and snow. Going into Sunday itself, you see big snow event. Like that'll be snow definitely over Midlands. I think the ECM has this quite far north actually compared to the Icon Arpeggian, especially the UKV. So the Icon best snow event goes through North Leinster, far north of Munster, a lot of Connacht and a lot of Ulster actually. With this run, and it does sort of cut back southwards as it clears through, and then we're off into a cold, bright day for Monday, back to how it was like before the snow event comes through. So here's the GFS, let's see what happens with this. Starting off Saturday at 6 AM with dry, cold and frosty, but here we go with the rain coming in as early as Saturday as 3 PM, turning wintry in the southwest over high ground especially. Then at 6 PM, again it's showing widespread wintriness in most of Munster, South Leinster, off through the Irish Sea into Wales and the south of England. By 9 PM, again same areas are seeing wintriness, but the mild air is advancing, and we go off into midnight, 3 AM. Yeah, I think the GFS and the ECM are similar here. I think they have the low a bit further northwards. So the heaviest snow event is through North Munster, North Leinster, quite a lot of Connacht and South Ulster with this. Big dumping of snow there. And through Sunday, what happens? Actually, the snow risk does sort of cut southwards through Sunday, back into South Leinster and Munster. And through the evening, actually, quite a nice bit of wintriness there for the south, actually, as it clears through. That is not something. That is really something that the other charts are showing. Really, most other runs have that occlusion dying out as it clears eastwards, but the GFS keeps it going and gives quite a dumping to parts of the south. See, this is something. If the occlusion does maintain its intensity, that is what will happen. It will give some snow as it clears away to more southern areas that might miss out with the rain. But at this stage, that is a very low likelihood, as most other charts have that just fizzling away. So therefore, there isn't much moisture left to tap into by the time the cold air digs back in to the south. So here's the GEM finally. So GEM again, Saturday 6 a.m. we had cold frosty, but through Saturday in comes this rain from southwest. It turns to snow over high ground initially, before quite widely to low levels by the evening in Munster, Connacht and South Leinster. Really wintry for a time, like heavy snowfall in a lot of Ireland, Wales and England. Before it turns to rain in the south, like Munster and South Leinster by Sunday morning. But the snow continues. It continues all day in parts of the North Midlands here. That stretch there between Dublin and Limerick and down towards Kerry, that keeps like a pretty heavy snow band over it for about 3 hours or something on Sunday there. That could be a real dumping of snow. And then into the evening, actually the occlusion does maintain its intensity as it clears away. So snow does get back into the south as it exits the country to leave again on Monday dry, cold and frosty and so on. There could be a disturbance there, but it's much too early for that detail, and we've got this to deal with first. So basically, most runs have the best snow chance through North Munster, North Leinster, Connacht and South Ulster for persistent heavy snow. In the far northwest, it can be hard to actually tap into the moisture, and then in the south and southeast especially, I think that the mild air will have too much influence. Then you got the question of obviously how far north and how far south it will be. Like the UKV is definitely quite far south with this, so questions. And I think the ECM, GFS and GEM and Icon, pretty much everyone else, has that lower a bit further northwards, especially the ECM, I think. So, still a slight variation with that. That should be cut down by tomorrow, I should hope. And then maybe some back edge stuff if that occlusion maintains its strength. But that is only favoured by the GFS and GEM. Let's finish off, actually, and look at some ensemble data. Let's look at snow spike data, actually. So I'm going to put in some towns around the country. We use Snowrow. Gorey, starting off with my local place. You can see there's quite a big snow spike here around Sunday, but I'm dubious given that coastal location and the fact, the mile boundary is quite close. Maybe a bit of winteriness, but nothing too significant. Dublin, again, you're quite coastal, could be a struggle, but there is quite a nice spike there. Cork in the south. Cork, again, mild air is quite close by, but could be winteriness. Limerick, Limerick's quite good, quite far north as well. Portlaoise should be very good for this country. This county, town. Jesus Christ, it's 7 a.m. Okay, Portlaoise, big snow spike there. Longford, if I can type. And that would be the last location that I'm running out of time. Longford, big snow event. I'll try and get Derry, because that's far north. Derry, so a bit more toned down there, but could be a bit of light snow. Everyone, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye for now.